Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with something very special. This is the brand new launch of BLU's latest device, the VIVO XI Plus. This is the latest in their flagship series, and previously I've reviewed the VIVO 8, the VIVO X, and now we have this brand spanking new 11 Plus. So this is the first device in their new device strategy where they're shifting to more meaningful, more valuable, more awesome phones instead of just putting out, a new slightly different iteration every month or two. They're buckling down and they're refining the process, and they have this new path that they're headed on to create much more desirable products that are very appealing and people, I think, will legitimately really want to buy. And I was super excited to get this one because as soon as I opened this and took it out of the box, it's just phenomenal. It is unlike anything that I have experienced or I've seen anywhere near the more budget tier, less mainstream devices. So before I get too much into this, I'll go ahead and give you a rundown of what we have here as far as the specs. So you start off, you've got the 6.2 inch full HD screen, which is really impressive. As soon as I took it out of the box, I fired it up. I was like, man, does not seem like a Blue phone at all. It seems very much like a flagship tier device. It has the latest and greatest MediaTek Helio P60, which is on par with the Snapdragon 660. It's almost identical as far as specs. Even it's only at 12 nanometers versus 14 nanometers, which is what the Snapdragon 660 is. So you get a little bit more performance, and you get better, more efficient battery life out of it as well. It's clocked at 2 gigahertz, which is very good. It has 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, which is just mind-blowing. It has 6 gigabytes of RAM, and whatever you think about, I keep reiterating awesome, mind-blowing, amazing. I'll get to that part in a minute. It has dual cameras on the rear. It's got a 16 megapixel and a 5 megapixel camera, and it can do portrait mode, which takes really good pictures. And I'm going to have some of those in the drop down. You can see them. They're linked to my Instagram page. It has a 16 megapixel front-facing selfie camera. It has wireless charging, a Blue First. It has 3D True Depth Face ID, a Blue First. It has advanced security encrypted fingerprint sensor, which is par for the course. Micro SD support up to 128 gigabytes on top of the incorporated 128 gigabytes. 4G LTE, and it has Android 8.1 Oreo. So if you didn't realize this was a Blue phone straight out of the bat, as I'm reading off these things, you can see some of the excitement that I have for this device, because this shift in strategy and the time and the effort that they put in this device, I believe is going to pay dividends, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. So the phone is ridiculously good, and so much so, if you looked at too much into the header that I put there, I'm talking about true flagship killer. And I don't want to steal that from OnePlus, because that's what they originally produced their phones was flagship killers. You're talking about a device around the $500 price range that competes and has a lot of the same technology and features that the flagships do. You're talking about $900. Well, in this one, temper your expectations here a little bit, but $349 MSRP, but it's on sale today, an exclusive 24-hour sale period where you can get it for $249. So try and wrap your head around that when you look at this device and what I just read off. So I'll go a little bit more into this as far as in depth. So 6.2 Full HD, it's got a 19 by 9 all screen design aspect ratio, 402 pixels per inch. It's got Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which personally is my favorite because it's very shatter resistant, and also the surface is much less prone to scratches than some of the other iterations. So you've also got a 3050 milliamp battery, which, like I said, has wireless charging, which works really well and is very convenient. And it has facial recognition software as well as retinal scanning. So it's got AI-powered IR laser with 3D facial recognition. Honestly, I set it up, it reminded me just of my iPhone X. And whenever I turn the screen on here, you're going to see it has the notch, which is kind of the new trendy thing that a lot of other devices are doing, but it's there for a reason, because it has the IR scanner. So you have your facial recognition, you have your retinal scanner. All of that works in one seamless package so that you can secure your phone and also unlock it safely. It has a 81% screen to body ratio, which is just ridiculous as well. And the camera, also on the front facing selfie camera, has a 120 degree wide angle selfie lens, which is the bee's knees. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on so you can see it. So as you can see on full display here, you have the notch, which I think is kind of cool. Whenever you look at this, it looks very similar to the iPhone X or even the Huawei P20. And in addition to looking like one, it even has fantastic performance. Now you can see this picture here. I don't know how good I can get it to focus in with the camera there, but I took this picture in my front yard. This is a crepe myrtle tree, and you're looking at this through a lens. And I think that this picture quality actually looks really good, even with that. So, I mean, I took a couple, I was trying to zoom in on the little blossom there, and you'll see this picture and more in the link on the Instagram. But the color saturation, the depth, you can see the glossiness on the leaves, and you can see how it's blurred out. You got the focuses out there. It's focused up front with the portrait mode lens, but at the same time, it kind of blurs everything out. You get that bokeh effect, and it looks really good. So this is buttonless. It has the capacitive buttons down there on the bottom. It doesn't have the ones that are built in, so they will go away. Whenever you're in an app, you have to swipe up to get to them. So you get your menu button, home button, and your back button there. But the experience on this is almost stock. It's very near stock. And I like that Blue has gone that route here lately with their devices, because originally they had some of the extra software suite stuff on there. They had some unnecessary stuff. They still include Opera on here. These are some of the things that I've installed on here as I've been enjoying using the phone. If you're wondering if this will play games, it will. It plays games really well. And it does it without a hitch. I was able to play War Robots, which if you've ever played that game, you know that you need pretty much at least an 8 series Snapdragon, one of the last 2 years, to play it very well. And this one runs it great. Really, the P60 is on par with the Snapdragon 660, which is pretty much the equivalent of the Snapdragon 820, 821. 820 or 821, which was, the 821 was the flagship processor in the Pixel, the first iteration of that, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So we're talking about an economic, power efficient processor that puts out a lot of power. I was able to play Warship Blitz, Batman, the Telltale games, Boom Beach, of course, because I'm still playing that. But the software experience on here is second to none in anything that even comes remotely close to this price range. I don't even know another phone that comes in this price range that has all these features. But it has a solid aluminum body design. It's one big aluminum piece. So it has a nice weight to it. It's balanced well. You got the Blue logo back here, your fingerprint sensor. You've got your dual cameras there on the back, which are oriented even like the P20 or the iPhone. Now you have the USB-C connector, which is another thing I'm very happy to say that Blue incorporated into their phone. So you've got your quick charge. It do a full charge in less than 2.5 hours from 0%. So you can get a better view here. So we've got the cutouts here at the bottom. This one's just like the microphone. Over here on the right, it's got a single speaker, but it actually has DTS audio. So the sound on this thing is really good as well. And of course they incorporate the curved glass display. It's a very, very faint curved glass, but if you've used any of the other Vivo devices before, usually it kind of has like a ridge here, and they finally got it to where it's kind of almost wraps around seamlessly, and it integrates with this aluminum chassis. So it's great. It has dual SIM support. SIM card goes in right over here. Just pop the tray out. And then on the right hand side, you've got your power button and your volume up and down, your volume rocker there. So it's got a very sleek and gorgeous finish to it. It's supposed to be available in silver as well. I don't know if it's going to be available in silver on launch, but just looking at the device here, if you took the Blue logo off the back here, you wouldn't even know that this was a Blue phone. You would think that it probably was an iPhone or Huawei P20, and it directly competes with both of them on almost every level. And you say, well, the flagship specs, they may be a little bit higher. Sure, you've got a Snapdragon 845 and the latest, or 835, or the current equivalent in the Huawei. And then you've got the A12 or A11 processor in the iPhone. But we're really at a point in technology and specs where, as we've gotten to these latest iterations, we haven't got so much power or processing ability out of them as we have in the past, but they incorporate the AI features, which one of the ones that's blended in with the AI feature, which the P60 complements, is of course the intelligent scan facial recognition software that's on here, which works really well. Honestly, I think it works faster than the iPhone one, and what's even better is when you use the facial recognition software, it pops up and it goes straight into the phone. So it's not like on the iPhone where you have to unlock it with your face and then you have to swipe up to get to the home screen. This one, you use the facial recognition software and then it just goes right to the home screen. But you can set it up in the settings where you can have it where you still have to swipe or do something to get to the home screen. So I like that as well. What's also nice is if you swipe to the right, you get the built-in Google Assistant, which they've included in the last couple iterations of their devices as well. And if you want to get to the Google Assistant as well, hold down the home button and it pulls it right up and it activates it. So you can go ahead and get into there as well. And you can voice activate it as well with the whole OK Google. And see, it picks it up there. So I haven't even set up my voice assistant on there because I don't usually talk to Google, but straight out of the box, if you say OK Google, it'll go to it, which is really nice as well. And they've got the search bar there. So some of the nice software features they have on here, there's no app drawer. And I really like this, and it's a feature that the Samsung Galaxy has built into their software. You want to get to the app drawer, you just swipe up. There's no button, none of that stuff. Seamlessly goes straight to your app drawer. And it works really well. And you just swipe back down to get it away. Now, it has a carousel built in, so that's one nice thing whenever you have page flipping. You go to different pages. You don't have to go to page 2 and 3 and then go back. You just keep swiping. It goes back to the home, which is a really nice feature that they've incorporated into here, and I haven't seen on an operating system in a while. So I'm super happy about that as well. You can swipe down from the top either direction. It'll get you to the quick settings. You can swipe down again, get you to even more. So you can take a look at those. Of course, you can customize them and change them out a little bit, but there's not a whole lot extra you can really change. You get the display here, turn the brightness down, turn the brightness up. We'll go into the settings here real quick. Some of the cool stuff that you actually get is in the settings because it has a lot of nice features in the display. So in the display, you can turn on adaptive brightness. It even has a blue light filter, which I didn't really appreciate at first with other devices, but I've really gotten to where I like having that blue light filter on at night. And you can even set it to where it comes on at a certain at a certain time period. And so I have mine set to come on at 10 o'clock, and then it turns off at 6 o'clock in the morning when I get ready to get up in the morning. And they call it smart eye protection. And you can even set how much smart eye protection you want. So more white or more blue light filter. I keep mine on medium. As you can see, like I said there, it's got the start time and the end time. You can set your period time and then of course enable now. Another nice thing that you can do is switch the display area. So you can switch between an 18:9 and a 19:9 aspect ratio. So you can turn it on and you can have it set up where you can turn it on in here, and then what happens is you go to the home screen and then it changes where you swipe down from the top left here. It asks you if you want to switch the display area. You can have it set to where it turns it off, where it gives you a notification to do it, which I like because I don't want to accidentally switch it. So now it takes away the notch and it puts it in a full 18:9 display. You want to change it back and get the notch? Swipe down, hit OK again, or if you disable it, it'll just automatically do it, so you can switch back and forth seamlessly. So you get the notch, you get no notch, which is really cool because you can kind of take that away. Now it does increase the bezel right there and it takes just a little bit off the screen, but you get that full widescreen 18:9 aspect ratio, which is great whenever you're playing games, viewing video and stuff like that. And it works fine. Occasionally if you're playing some software that's not optimized for it, and you can even go in and pair and tailor the apps that you want to automatically do full screen mode. So if you want to do that, you just go in here, you go to display, and then you can go down to full screen mode and you can set the apps that you want to automatically switch to that 18:9 ratio. So you get the full screen mode, as it were, without the notch, and it doesn't diminish your performance. And then when you get out of the app, it just kicks back in. So last but not least, I want to go in and I want to touch on the camera, because the camera on this is actually really good. I don't have anything back there to take a picture of right now. And I'm going to put some pictures, of course, in my Instagram, like I said. But with their Final Touch software, not only does BLU put in a really good camera in their device, but they also have the software that you can go in, and it has AI features as well. And you can go in and you can take the best possible picture And it has a great 16 megapixel selfie camera, which is just insane because most cameras nowadays on front-facing selfie cameras, you're talking usually 5 to 8 megapixels. So the different modes you have here, you swipe left to right. You have night mode, so you can get better low light images. You get video, of course, face beauty, so you can do some of your filters, regular photo, use it for backlit images, panorama, and then group selfie. So whenever you do the group selfie, it gives you that wide lens on the selfie. You can even see over there, you get the little box on the side. So, and the wide lens selfie is really nice. And then all you have to do is just switch it back and forth simply by swiping. So going here into the settings, you can adjust for auto scene detection, which is nice. I like to leave that on. You can do the picture size, adjust the aspect ratio. Of course, you get HDR, geotagging if you want to have that in there, anti-banding. It's just, it has all the bells and whistles. And here's some of the different filters that you can pick from, and you see they pop up as the camera's live, so you can see what it looks like before you get ready to select one. And then here you can switch to professional mode. It even has slow motion, time lapse, and then you can just click on group selfie right there if you want. So if this isn't impressive, then I don't really know what is. And especially if you can get it on launch day for $249. So this phone is the real deal, and it is an amazing piece of hardware and software package incorporation that BLU has put together. And on top of that, if you're worried about software updates and you're worried about getting the next and latest iteration, because of course Pi just came out, they even have promised that they will have software, routine software updates, and this phone is guaranteed to get Android Pie. Now they're talking, it says sometime in 2019, I don't know specifically what date or how soon into 2019, but building on their new promise and commitment to delivering software updates and a consistent, reliable phone and software experience, this phone not only has 8.1 Oreo, it's also going to get Pie, which is going to make it even better. So if you can see why I was excited in the beginning of the video and throughout, showing off all the wonderful features that this device has, you even have the assurance that rolling into the next year that you're going to get Android Pie and you're going to continue to get routine security and software updates. So yeah, it's just great. So that's about all I have for the video. I've gone on and on about this because, one, I love BLU products. As you've probably seen, I've reviewed a lot of their products before, and this is a BLU phone, and BLU has outdone themselves, and they've outdone, I believe, even the competition. It looks gorgeous. It has a great design. It has performance and power. It has a wonderful battery, 3050 milliamps, which is even better than the iPhone 10. So it has more features than you can shake a stick at it, and it's all in a low price. So $349 if you don't get it on the 24-hour limited supply launch, or if you get it at that $249 price point. If you're looking for a new phone and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you want something that looks great, it performs great, and like I said, I've played all these games on here. War Robots, which is intensive, Warship Blitz, which is intensive, Batman the Enemy Within, Telltale Games. I've played everything that I went out and bought different phones before, because I used to play War Robots a lot, especially when I was on my Snapdragon 820, and I went out and bought one that had an 820 and 821 processor in it so I could play the game better. And this one, it runs flawlessly. It works great. And the phone does warm up a little bit, but the heat dissipation is mitigated really well. It doesn't get hot. You can just tell that, towards the top it'll get warm after a little while when you're playing games, but the sound is great. The video playback is great, and I love this phone. So that's all I have as far as the review. Hopefully this is something that you're as excited as I am, because if this is the first product that they're putting out under the new strategy, I can't wait to see some of the more devices that they have that come out down the road. But this one is here today, and I highly recommend, if you want it, you go ahead and get it before that sale price is gone or before the supplies are gone, because I think this one's probably going to sell like hotcakes. So this is it, the Vivo 11 Plus, the wave of the future for BLU, and something that it takes, it's a serious consideration if you're looking at spending $500, $600, $700 on a phone when you can get all of it and the low introductory price of this $249. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it always. Hit the subscribe button, ask questions. I always love to get y'all's feedback or answer any questions you may have about the products, and maybe this is the phone for you. So I'll see y'all next time.